Okay, I'm gonna call it a win with whoever is here and let's get started. Oh, we just got a new one. Um, Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hope technology isn't too difficult. It is the subject of our next PD-EDU in November, which I can always use a lesson as well. This morning we have Marcia Lemons. Is it Lemons or Lemons?
Lemons, like
Lemons, okay, with Elite Comfort Home Care. And she is going to speak to us about her agency and how she came to be. So we'll turn it over to Marcia. Thanks
well,
for joining us.
everyone. I'm so honored to have you all here and to talk about Elite Comfort with you all. Well, for starters, my name is Marcia, and I've been a caregiver for over 20 years. So this is my passion, and this is what I love to do. So a few years ago, I started Elite Comfort because I saw all of the problems and the issues by being out in the field, and I have all the solutions.
Wow.
The first issue was that the caregivers weren't showing up and they were coming late and leaving early. So time was our priority. So for all of the caregivers to be on time. And by being in the field for 20 years, I've got to work with some of the best caregivers. So I reached out personally. So all of our caregivers are literally handpicked that I've worked with personally. And so I know their work ethic, and they were all honored to work with us because they're like, we should have been got this going. And so I understand the side as the caregiver and the other side as well as being in the office. And so being on time is our number one priority, but we also have what we call an elite hour, which is just 1 hour. And we're the only agency that offers that because we understand that, especially we understand how, especially with our Parkinson's clients, some of them just need that little bit of assistance, just getting their day started. And once they get their day going, they're good to go. And a lot of agencies have a minimum and a certain amount of hours you have to have, but we want to cater to our clients because it's their needs. So we don't have like a minimum hours that you have to have. We want them to use the hours that they need. And so with that being part of time as well. And so if the shift starts at 7, then we're there at 6:45. So we like to be on time to get report from the family or the caregiver that's there. So we are on top with our clients. And once you're with us, we treat everyone as family. And all of our clients have the same caregiver that they've had since they started with us. So we definitely delivered that consistency. That was the second thing that was the problems. They said they send different people. I got to keep telling my story over again. So that was another thing too. And also, I introduced the caregivers so that way everybody's comfortable with each other. Even though the caregivers are like, I don't need an introduction. I got this. I'm still like, I want to make sure everybody's comfortable with each other. And most of the times they're putting me out. They're like, I got this, Marcia. So our caregivers, they come with experience. And so with my orientation, it's not so much as going and drilling because they already know what's going on. So a lot of times the caregivers just don't know what's going on. And I'd be at a client and they say, who's relieving me? And I'm like, I don't know. So that was a problem too. We want to get to know, we want you to get to know your caregiver to where they become part of your family. So if something happens to where you decline or something happens, we're already familiar with your routine. We keep it going. And so consistency, that was the second thing. Also, a lot of clients that we have, their routine changes. So we're there for the changes. And with experience, I mean, I've had clients say, do you know how to use a gait belt? And when I was with other agencies, they say, what's that? Or not know, but we definitely know how to use the gait belt, Hoyer lifts, sliding boards, anything you need to help transfer you. Because our third thing and number one is safety. So we want to make sure safety, everyone is safe. That's our priority as well. So we try to find ways to make it easier for you all when we're not there. So it's easier for the family and the client, ways to make it easier for everybody. Because our goal is to keep our clients independent and at home, because everybody wants to be at home. And so we go above and beyond when we deliver our care. We've been able to keep that consistency with our clients and able to keep them. We have clients who are success stories where they've had us for months and now they don't need us anymore. So that's also good as well. It's bittersweet, but we're like, that's our goal. We want to keep you independent and keep you home. And another thing is, a lot of the clients, if they don't have anyone, I'm a caregiver. You have me. So no client is getting left unseen. Everybody's getting seen. And I have 2 other caregivers available as well. So everybody gets seen. Some people say, well, they didn't send anybody. And I'm like, well, there's people in the office. Somebody's coming. And anybody who's in the office is a caregiver first. So we do have LPNs and RNs, but they're still caregivers first. So we just want to make sure our clients are exceeding and we're excelling with them. We want them to be independent and home. And I also wanted to, for like the future with the Elite Comfort, we want to have like a facility, because a lot of people don't want to go to facilities, but it'll be more like a resort. And it'll be like Elite Comfort, and everybody will want to come there. So that was something down the line we're thinking too as well. But everything's Elite Comfort because we only deliver the best. And like I said, once you're with us, you are family.
Do you have an area of, are you limited to a certain area in the
No,
city?
actually see a client out in Dayton, Ohio. So we go out our reach for our clients, because if they call us, then we feel they were sent to us. They're our
Mhm.
clients. So we're going to try to find a way to help if we can and make sure I actually see the client out in Dayton personally. So yes.
Okay. You go to Kentucky too then?
Yes, ma'am. We do have a client in Boone County, Kentucky. But yes, ma'am. We have a lot of our clients have been referred. So everyone's been like word of a mouth. So if they call and say you were referred, I'm always like, let me see how I can help, because you were sent to us.
And I'm sure that everybody's thinking, what's the cost?
Absolutely. So our cost is $30 an hour, and our rates are the same for the days, for the nights, and the weekends. That was another problem too, because the rates would change depending on the shift. And we're like, that's our rate, days, nights, and weekends as well.
That's very generous of you.
And on our night shifts, we do have night shifts, and there's absolutely no sleeping. So we don't have caregivers coming in with comforters and pillows. It was terrible. I was out in the field, it was terrible. So we have a no sleep shift, and we have visual checks. So every hour, the caregiver would write down they're sleeping, got up, helped them to the restroom, they're up watching TV. But our number one thing is our strict no cell phone policy. That's the one that gets them every time, because that was the main complaint, that the caregivers are on their phones all day and they're not paying attention to the client. So that was my number one thing. I tell the caregivers, strict no cell phone policy. So you can cater your time to your client. That's what you're there for. And with that no cell phone policy, that's what the clients really like as well, because they understand that as well. If you have a call, you can go and take your call, but you come back to your client. You're working. You can check your social media face when you get off of work. This is work.
So I think that there are people who, may need the activities of daily living help, right?
Yeah,
But they also may need other light housekeeping things.
absolutely. When we clean, we clean. When we vacuum, we get behind the door as well. We don't leave any area undone. So that's a good part too. A lot of times our caregivers come in and you can get rid of a lot of other services that you have. And so if you need a ride to an appointment, we'll take you to your appointment. If we use our car, then we'll charge 55 cents per mile. But if we use your car, then we don't charge for mileage. We take them to their appointments, physical therapy, grocery shopping, so they can spend time caring for themselves and their loved ones, and we'll take care of the care part. And we do have like couples. So a lot of times they're the main caregiver. So we want to give them some respite as well. So that way they can go and do what they need to do for themselves too. And we understand how it can be overwhelming. We understand. And we really specialize in our clients with Parkinson's and dementia because we understand. A lot of the clients are very frustrated and they're like, I don't know what to do. We don't want the caregivers to be upset. And we're like, this is what we do. They can't say or do anything to get us upset because we understand they don't understand what's happening to them. So they will be frustrated. And it's okay we got them. We've got them. Once they're with us, they're in great hands.
So Marcia, there's a question in the chat that says you started with hand-picked caregivers. Do you also staff with nurses for skilled services?
Yes, ma'am. Some of our caregivers are nurses down. So that's how that kind of went. We kind of grew from the caregivers that we already had. We started a referral service. So when they refer somebody, we've had people that they referred that I said, they're good, but I'm looking for great. So, but we have some great ones that's come out from the referral. So that's how we kind of grow a little. Because if we have a client and we don't have that consistency in everything we're delivering to our other clients, I haven't had to say it, but I'll say, I'm sorry, we can't help at the moment. Because I want to make sure everybody's getting the exact same consistency. They have their same caregivers to keep that going.
And if somebody needs 24/7 care?
Yes, ma'am.
You have enough staff to
24 hours. Yes, ma'am. And they usually have just 4 caregivers. We'll have the caregivers for their day and for the night. So if one's not available, they have their caregiver that they're familiar with. And no clients left alone. I've had emergencies because you got to know emergencies happen. And so I'll say, they'll give me a call like, I have an emergency, I need to leave. And I'll say, sit tight, I'm on my way. So I'll come and I'll sit so that they can leave and the client still has someone there. And then I'll just get myself relieved, but that way they're gone and I'll stay there.
Are there any questions from the audience?
It sounds great. It also sounds like a scheduling nightmare for you.
No, it's wonderful. It actually works out because I've worked in scheduling with another agency. So all of the jobs I had to do, it kind of all worked together. And with my scheduling, especially on the weekend, I have caregivers calling me asking, do you have anything open today? If you do, give me a call first. So
Yeah.
it actually works pretty well. And then
Good.
I'm available. So if something happens, I'm always available.
Right. Wonderful.
Mary, do you have anything to chat about?
I'm gonna say I have used Elite
Beautiful.
Cares, yeah, since the beginning, and they have been fantastic. They were with a different company first, and they've developed their own company, and they're very accommodating and attentive to the needs of my individual needs. And I have Parkinson's, and I'm in a wheelchair, and they are wonderful in helping me be independent, transferring, independently with their guidance and safety watches there. But it's been a wonderful company, and I can't say enough good things about them.
Oh, thank you, beautiful.
Yeah.
And how many caregivers have you had since you've been with us?
One.
And how long have you been with us for a while? And you've had that same.
Here. 3
How
years.
many years,
One
Mary?
time wasn't able to
3.
come. Who did you
3
have?
years?
Yeah.
Miss-
Then you came.
Yeah, you see, I know that's right.
There's a question in the chat. Does insurance cover any cost?
We do take long-term care insurance. So if you have like long-term care insurance, we do have clients who we bill them and they send the invoices to their long-term care insurance, and then they reimburse them.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Dayton area.
Hi.
Who's talking? I can't see who's talking.
I can't either.
I can't hear you.
Somebody just said they're from the Dayton area, but we can't hear you anymore. And Marcia did say they cover Dayton.
Now with that Dayton client, they were referred to us. So we didn't have a caregiver that could go out that far. But I live in Mason, so it wasn't too far for me. So that's how we ended up in Dayton.
Well, it's good that, that's why UC has a Westchester clinic so that we can accommodate people that live up north.
Mhm. In Boone County, Kentucky, I thought that was the kind of furthest. I thought that was further than Dayton. Since the drive actually was. So it was like, whoa, I'm coming out here one time for one introduction. And that's it.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments?
I'm Carol. I have a question. How does what you do compare to what a care partner does? Or what am I thinking about?
A care coordinator, Carol?
Yeah.
A coordinator.
Yeah.
I come out and like do the assessment to kind of see what the needs are for the client. And we kind of put something together, like how many hours they think they may need or how many days they believe they may need. So I'm really wearing all the hats when we're getting the clients going. And then I hand them off to their caregivers. I don't know if that answered your question.
Well, it's not a very. I didn't ask the question very well, but
Okay.
do you go can you go to doctor's appointments?
Yes. And our good thing about us going is we could go inside with you. And so that way we can sit, and when they're asking questions, and we're able to help out as well if we need, if they're asking something and maybe the client's not able to remember or that kind of thing. And sometimes we'll have maybe one of the kids or the other spouse on the line or the speakerphone so they can hear what's going on as well if they have any questions. So when our caregivers go, we're like your secretary too. We're going to make sure we get everything. And once you come from the appointment, we're going to go pick up whatever you need. Because we do have people who are discharged home. And so when they're discharged, they're not sure what time they're going to get there and that kind of thing. So we're just on standby.
Yeah.
And so once they say we're leaving the hospital or leaving there, then I'll meet them there in case they need help getting into the house or that kind of thing. Because we do have a lot of people coming from like rehab.
Yeah.
So if they have, and with the 1 hour, I know this is off subject, but with the 1 hour, if we're there for that 1 hour, we're kind of already familiar. So if something happens, if they have a fall, then we're already in there. We kind of like 1 foot already in there. And we do a lot in that 1 hour than most agencies do in 3 and 4 hours.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big difference.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
There's a question in the chat.
Uh-huh.
I have a friend that's struggling to get good care for her father. Do you take patients other than Parkinson's patients?
Absolutely. Yes, we do.
And there's another one. How long has Elite Comfort been in business? And can we have your contact information, please?
Absolutely. We've been in business since 2021. And our contact information, our phone number is 513-540-4774. Or you can also send us an email as well, if you like, at elite, ELITE, comfort, COMFORT, LLC @gmail.com.
Is that
And
all
our,
one word?
yes, ma'am.
Marcia, I tried to call that number before I called your cell because I
Uh-huh.
had both numbers and I didn't know which one. And
That's
it didn't go through. It said my Verizon, it didn't go through. And I just tried to call it again and it still didn't go through.
I'm on the line. I'm on the phone now.
Oh,
And the number will ring to my cell phone since I'm
okay.
in the office.
Oh, okay.
It's ring. I'm just not answering anything that's coming through because I'm on here right now. But I
Okay.
go back and check the
Okay.
here.
Just wanted to be sure there wasn't a technical problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Comments? Good, bad, indifferent?
I've been notified of a woman in Detroit who has a son who lives in this area, who has PSP, and she can't really deal with what's going on because she's got a form of blood cancer. I don't know the specifics. And so, I'm trying to feel out where she might find some help in helping her son.
Or what area is he in?
He's around between Dayton and Cincinnati, I think. I don't know a lot of details because I haven't talked to her yet.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. If I do talk to them and we get more information, and if I can go out there and it's okay, and I make sure I have caregivers available, then absolutely.
Okay. Well, what I'll do probably is give her your phone number.
Yes, ma'am.
And let you talk to her as soon as I get in touch with her. This is kind of on the between.
I've got you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, if there's no more questions, I certainly appreciate your time, Marcia, especially on a beautiful Saturday morning.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. You are awesome.
There's
Marcia, do you spell your last name Lemons? Lemons? Okay.
And there's a thank you in the chat too for the time and information.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I think the 1 hour minimum is a nice change from what most of them are. That must be difficult for you to deal with.
And even if that 1 hour, if you're like, nah, we don't know about this caregiver, that's okay. I can send another one. I haven't had anybody say that, but that's okay. I'll send another one.
Yeah, it's most of them require 3 hours. And
yeah,
that can be a put off sometimes for, if you just need to run to the grocery store or something like that.
Yes, or just need assistance with the shower. Because we have they only had 2 hours for a week. 2 hours a week. But we come, help her get her shower, get her breakfast, get her meds, and she's good to go.
Yeah, that helps. helps to
Yes.
have that flexibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. Well, everybody get out and enjoy the sunshine today.
Yes.
and the
Thank you.
weather.
And it was such a pleasure. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.